Whenever I go travel all over the world, in Detroit, we have this thing I call the nod. If you're walking past somebody, in Detroit, we at least acknowledge that you're there by a nod. That doesn't exist in too many other places that I've been. And there's something to be said about the heart of a person, and that people in Detroit, that they at least give you the respect to acknowledge your existence, that you're here, that we might even be in it together.
So it's very, very, very important that you stay to the right at all times. Even when we're coming to a stop, we cannot take over the whole road at any point. We must share the road. It's important as cyclists. Also share the road with cars.
Yeah.
Just like natural and light.
I love this room just because of natural light.
So what role do I see Rebrand Detroit playing? I believe that Rebrand Detroit can be a catalyst. I believe that Rebrand Detroit can be a tipping point in terms of making sure that we're thinking outside the box and looking at stories and understanding what makes those stories so unique. So if we look at a Jason Hall, you look at a guy who had an idea.
My partner, Mike McCool, and myself, he and I were just like hanging out and really kind of, I always say, falling out of love with Detroit, you know. So we just started riding bikes personally together. When we decided to start the ride, it was kind of like a joke. It was like, yo, let's start this ride and, you know, make our friends go on a ride. And we just wanted to, like, at the time we were really into drinking red wine. So we would just go out and throw it in a backpack, and we would just go somewhere that we didn't know anything about, and we would stop there, share some wine, come back home. You know, yeah, man, this is the Motor City, and we grew up. My dad worked for Chrysler, my mom worked for the UAW, and everybody we knew was connected to that industry. But when we went through what we went through with the big three going bankrupt, man, I think it was just a natural progression for people to look at alternative forms of not only transportation, but mobility. We didn't get into this business with business degrees. Every day is a different step that you have to take. So if you're not willing to learn or care, you know, those are two things for me that are like the two things out there. The money will eventually come, hopefully, if you care enough about enough people, they'll care about you, and that's where that return comes. You know, every restaurant in the city of Detroit, it's funny, I walk in on any day of the week and they usually buy my dinner because they say Monday is the most popular day of the week next to Saturday. So that makes me smile when I can say that Slow Roll is contributing to new business and old business. You know, trust me, I've talked to restaurants who say, I couldn't have made my bills this week if y'all hadn't come through. I just try to show people a different light of Detroit. And hopefully, like, you know, when it's all said and done, somebody buys that house here, you know, or somebody opens that business here because we made it palatable to come through to see that this is a viable place to do business and live.
People who've seen Jason in the city of Detroit or have gone on a ride with him or seen him in the city because he's a part of the city, that's a story that they can relate to, as somebody who's close to them. And so being able to show those success stories becomes critically important.
No, Detroit doesn't need a new brand. I just think we need to re-educate people on what the actual brand of Detroit actually is. And I think that's what we try to instill in people through Slow Roll. Detroit is everybody accepting each other, everybody helping each other, and everybody having an understanding that we're all in it together. Detroit made this what it is, man, and that's, you know, I think it became as successful as it is because Detroiters really love each other. And when you give them an opportunity, man, to show that love, they do it. You really need to come see the most diverse group of people working together and moving in one direction